Perfect. Perfect.
All right, you guys, this is a very live edition of the Jono Barnes Show. Something we're going to be trying more and more this off season, and that is trying to go on live when we have the ability to, when breaking news occurs. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if this is technically breaking news or not. I feel like this news is as breaking as when you get the news that it's flooding in New Orleans whenever it rains. Like, okay, we all kind of saw it coming, right? But that is the fact that the New Orleans Saints plan to release Michael Thomas in a few days. And Jeff Duncan says it's not a matter of if, but it is a matter of when the Saints are going to release Mike Thomas. So let me show you guys actually the whole commotion right now, because Jeff Duncan put out the report a few minutes ago saying that the Saints will soon release Mike Thomas. And then he kind of did his bit of a commentary saying that it should not have ended this way. And I think we all agree that we all, especially in 2017, 18, 19, 20, we did not see Michael Thomas's career ending with the New Orleans Saints like this. Now, Mike, y'all know Mike was ready, right? Like, I don't know if you in the trenches of Who Dat Nation, you know that Mike is not the biggest fan of Jeff Duncan. So the fact that it was Jeff Duncan who, quote unquote, broke this news obviously was not going to sit well with Mike. So Mike said, Jeff Duncan, funny, how they planning on releasing me if I was only on a 1-year deal? Don't fall for it. He the same dude that tried to be my friend in season after saying I wasn't the same player in training camp. Hashtag next topic. Basically, Mike is saying that, well, I'm a free agent. How can you release me when I'm a free agent? But Mike wasn't done. In true Mike fashion, he kept going. And he said, Jeff Duncan is a hoe, trying to stay relevant, so let's speak on it. The Saints leak information to him to try to ruin players' value. But see, I'm not broke, so I can speak on it. He is broke, so he needs clicks. Go look at all his articles that never end up being true. Now, that's just the first of 2 Mike tweets, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot more Mike tweets, probably even as I'm doing this live. But obviously, you know, I even tweeted myself. Actually, I literally, like 30 seconds ago, as I'm live right now, Mike tweeted another tweet that I can't put up right now, but he put, it's a picture of Jeff Duncan. He says, look at this clown. Y'all know he think he knows balls, right? Y'all really clicking links to what he writes. So all that to say is this, folks. I always had visions of how would Mike Thomas's great Saints career end, right? You know, when Danes were great, you're like, oh man, it's going to be amazing. Mike's going to, you know, ceremoniously go out to the Superdome field, wave to the crowd. We give him a standing ovation. Maybe he catches one last pass, you know, and we just all celebrate the greatness that is Michael Thomas. I did not have on my bingo card Mike Thomas beefing with Jeff Duncan as the way for him to end his Saints career. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks, really. I mean, now we all knew that the writing was on the wall for honestly like about 2 years now. The fact that I call 2023 a bonus season with Mike. And I'm sure many of you guys did not expect Mike to be on the team in 2023. So the fact that we even had him last season was great. And I was like, oh, well, maybe that means that this can still work out long term. But this offseason has basically been the same ladder, rinse, repeat. You know, like Mike takes shots at the organization. He does his sub tweets and things that Mike usually does on Twitter. You know, we're past the point now where we do this every offseason and then we kumbaya with him a month later and try to make it work. Like it's over, and it's obviously and it's honestly best that both parties finally agree to go their separate ways. You know, it could be a thing of it's not me, it's you. You know, sometimes relationships, they start off hot. You know, you think that that's the one, she's the one, he's the one. And then it just kind of crumbles and not, you know, like Gladys Knight. Neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye. I think it was time for both parties to realize we need to say goodbye. Mike deserves to go on a team that has a chance to win a Super Bowl with a top-tier quarterback. Obviously, Mike is at his best when he has a great quarterback at the helm like a Drew Brees. He did fine with Jameis and with Derek Carr, but I think Mike was so spoiled by the greatness of the unicorn that is Drew Brees that anything that's not top of the line, top five play, he kind of gnaws his teeth at, right? Because we all know Jameis and Derek Carr, while they're not the greatest quarterbacks, they also aren't the worst quarterbacks. But Mike just seems to never have really got on the page with both of them, man. In the past, has taken shots at both of them. So it's time. It's absolutely time. It's sad. I think there's a little bit of blame to go on both sides. I'm pretty sure the majority of the fan base is going to take Mike's side, which is fine. Mike's a great player. Mike deserves to have whatever platform he wants to voice his frustration about how his past 3 seasons with the Saints has gone. But I also feel like he deserves a tad bit of blame too, because I think there's two sides to every story. And it's hard to not just go back to that 2020 opening week game against the Bucks when we had the game decided and Sean Payton still had the starters in because he was trying to, I guess, leave a message to the Bucks that, hey, the NFC South is still ours, Tom Brady. I don't care if you're in our division now. This is still our division. And we all know how Mike's down path of a career began when Latavius Murray inadvertently ran into his ankle. We thought, oh, it's just an ankle sprain. It'll be okay. We've seen ankle sprains on reports many times, and players are back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. This seems to be the worst ankle sprain of all time because it just led to the demise of what was a potential Hall of Fame career. And only Saints, right? Only the Saints. Like, we can get an injury report back saying, oh, he just has an ankle sprain, and it wind up being damn near. I'm not going to say a career ending because obviously Mike's come back multiple times since then. But, like, he was never the same Michael Thomas after that injury. Not the same Michael Thomas that was the Offensive Player of the Year. Not the same Michael Thomas that was breaking the single season reception record. And it's really unfortunate. So I know that there's going to be a lot of emotions right now. Fans are probably going to get mad. Even at Sean Payton, I actually saw some tweets already saying, well, God damn it, if Sean Payton didn't keep the starters in that week 1 game against the Bucks in 2020, none of this would have ever happened. I mean, that's a lot of, hindsight, in my opinion. Granted, yes, it would have probably been nice to take the starters out at that point, but starters are usually playing when they're up by 14, 17, 21 many times. So, yes, that this was an unfortunate occurrence that it bit us in the ass. It bit Michael Thomas's career in the ass, but it's not the first time that the Saints have had their starters in blowout wins, and it's not the first time an NFL team has had their starters in blowout wins. You don't go into games or even in any type of situation thinking that, oh man, is this going to be the play that takes one of my players out for a duration of his career? So I think it's easy in hindsight for any fan to go back and say, well, damn you, Sean Payton, for keeping Michael Thomas in that game when it was already over in 2020. But I can't get with that. I just can't. I can't. I'm just very, very miffed that an ankle sprain. It must have been like the goddamn worst ankle sprain of all time or the worst misdiagnosis of all time. That is the reason why Michael Thomas never was able to get back to the prominence that we expected him to be as a New Orleans Saint. I mean, this dude was on path to be a Hall of Famer. Like, he was literally on path to be a Hall of Famer. And now, ever since 2020, it's just been headaches, man. Headaches and heartbreaks. And it sucks. It sucks. But I think we all saw this coming. If anybody was surprised by the news today, then they must be living under a rock, because it was obvious since the end, not even the end of last season, honestly, since Michael Thomas was basically out for the rest of the year after that Minnesota game. We all pretty much knew that, okay, we can't keep doing this every year where Mike can't finish out a season. I'm not trying to take a shot at Mike and say that he's injury prone. I'm just saying, like, this is the NFL. It's a tough business. When players aren't able to play the majority of the season, then obviously franchises are going to say, yeah, we might want to invest our money elsewhere if the guy is in the tub and not with the club, as they say in the football locker room. So it's unfortunate, guys. It's unfortunate. Usually I wear my this shirt more than a game shirt, but you know what? In honor of Mike today, I'm going to wear, I guess it's still technically relevant because we're not technically released him yet, even though we will soon. I'm going to wear my Michael Thomas jersey all day today and show love to who, in my opinion, was, at his peak, the greatest Saints wide receiver of all time. Now, when all things are said and done, obviously Marcus Colston is going to have a better career than what Michael Thomas had. But I think at his peak, Michael Thomas was the best Saints receiver that we have ever seen with our own 2 eyes. So it is unfortunate that his career ended the way it did, but we all saw this coming. Now, what will be a shock to me, even though it kind of seems like there's some momentum going that way, is if we trade a Marshawn Lattimore. That's one that I'm keeping my eye on to see, like, what actually happens with that. But this Michael Thomas news, I was not surprised. I would be surprised if any of you guys watching right now was actually surprised by it. But just because you expect it to happen doesn't make the pain hurt any less. doesn't make the pain hurt any less. So all that to say, Michael, thank you for a great career. Thank you for some amazing memories during your time in the black and gold. I will never forget him putting out the cell phone against the Rams, the year that we all sworn in that we knew that we were going to win a Super Bowl that year. And it's a shame. I feel like if the referees would have just called that goddamn pass interference in 2018, 2019, that a lot of this would be so much easier to stomach. Like it would be easier to watch Michael Thomas leave. It'll be easier to watch Trey Hendrickson go off in Cincinnati because we'll be like, well, damn, at least we already know that we got a ring out of that draft class and out of that, core of players that we had from 2017 to 2020. But because we don't have a ring, that's why this shit hurts so much, man. Damn. It's been a tough life as a Saints, y'all. It's been a tough life as a Saints fan, I swear. But let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about Michael Thomas basically officially being released as a New Orleans Saint is now unofficially official. I mean, all that's left to do is for the team to formally announce it next week when free agency officially starts. But, I still want to know what you guys think. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans no matter what, even though we all saw this coming, very mad at the news. So definitely let me know in the comments, what do you guys feel about Mike Thomas's release? I guess you can also talk about how do you feel about this apparent Michael Thomas versus Jeff Duncan beef. And I like Jeff Duncan, by the way. I'm probably one of the few fans, I guess, left who still likes Jeff Duncan, but I know he's not the most popular beat writer for the Saints fans, and he's clearly not the most popular beat writer with Michael Thomas. So let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I see some comments already saying like he might be a Kansas City Chief. I can see that. I can see Baltimore Ravens trying to kick the tires with him. I feel like if you are a contender and you feel like you're real close to a Super Bowl, you should probably inquire about Michael Thomas because you're probably going to give him for a good deal too. Like the Chiefs or the Ravens could probably sign him for a pretty decent deal. And, especially if you're not the Chiefs. So any team that's not the Chiefs, but there's a playoff team in the AFC or NFC, you probably want to call Michael Thomas as agent because you need to try to load up as much as possible to take Patrick Mahomes off his mantle. And the last thing you want to do is give Patrick Mahomes another toy like Michael freaking Thomas. So let me know in the comments what you all think. And if you are new to this channel, don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe button. As well, stay tuned to this channel, folks, because real breaking news, I guess, is that Eric McCoy is going to be pulling up to my crib in about 2 weeks to come and kick it with me and my crew from the Jono Barnes Show. So I know you guys do not want to miss that. That is some major, monumental stuff happening on this channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys who watch the show, who like the show, who subscribe to the show, who share the show, because it is because of you that we have Saints Pro Bowl players pulling up to the crib to come talk New Orleans Saints football and all other things about life in New Orleans and whatnot. So be on the lookout this month. You got to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you can be the first one to watch when Eric McCoy pulls up to the This Shit More Than the Game studios. We are very excited about that. And we're probably going to ask him a few questions about free agency because free agency is about to start next Monday. So be on the lookout for that, guys. I appreciate you all joining me on this 12 o'clock p.m. Central Time because I know a lot of you guys are at work right now, so many of you guys are probably going to watch the replay. So again, when you do watch this replay, all I need you to do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments, how do you feel about Michael Thomas no longer being the Saint? All I got to say is, Mike, thank you very much, and always and forever, you will, Michael Thomas, be This Shit More Than a Game certified.